Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video I will be doing some kata training from Codewars. I will be solving this get the mean of an array problem rated an 8Q. Let's go. This problem I'm gonna have to solve the mean of an array which is given in this line right here. It's giving me integers and it's named marks, and I will have to find the mean of it rounded down. So since I don't know how else to do it, I'm gonna also include CMath, which I'm gonna use to round the number down. I mean, like this, CMath. Okay, so since we already get a vector which gives us the numbers, we don't need to create one. So let's just create a return answer, which will give the answer. But to return it, I'm gonna need to declare it. I'm gonna do it as a double, but then round it down. So we get the vector named marks. So I'm gonna have to find all of the numbers in it and put it into a sum and then divide it by the total amount. So I'm gonna create an integer called sum and an integer called amount. So I'm gonna have to do a for loop which is gonna go until I is gonna be less than marks.size, which gives us the size of the array. I mean, not the vector, not the array. And I'm gonna keep increasing I every time. And every single time this happens, I'm gonna make sum plus equals, which means it will add to the current sum the current marks of I, which will start at 0, then 1, then 2. Should probably also turn this into zeros, so there isn't any confusion in the program. Then I will also increase the amount by 1. So this should create the sum of every single integer in the marks vector and create the amount. Let's just make sure it works. And it does not. I mean, yeah, it does. It just doesn't give the actual answer correctly. So now we have to find the answer or the mean of it. So the answer will be equal to the sum of everything divided by the amount of numbers inside of the vector. Then I'm also gonna have to round it down. So I'm gonna put this into brackets and make it 4 like this. Should work. Let's just test it. And yes, it works. So what I did is I had these declared double and integers, and then it counted off the sum of every single mark in the vector and the amount. Then right here it counted the mean of everything, and then I just added this so it rounds it down, which was stated to have to be done here. So since I got the output green, which means I can click attempt, and everything passed, so I can now just submit and my kata is done. Alright, so this kata is gonna give me two strings, player 1 and player 2, which either have to have rock, paper, or scissors, and I have to write which player wins. So I'm gonna use the return to winner instead of whatever that was. Then I need to do string winner, but I've noticed that you have to write the standard thing because it isn't included. It sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. I already tried it, and it doesn't work. So I'm gonna do using namespace standard. That should avoid from having to write this every time. Now I'm gonna do if player 1, I'm gonna add a space here, is equal to rock and player 2 is equal to rock, then it's a tie. So winner will be equal to draw, which is what the program is wanting us to send. Then and else if player 1 will still keep it as rock, I can actually just copy this whole part since I'll use it a lot, like that. I'll keep player 1 rock, then I'm gonna change this to paper, open this up, then winner will be equal to what it wants to send is player 2 1 with an exclamation mark, which is something you have to not miss. Player 2 1, and then another else if rock, paper, and scissors. Did I write that right? Yes, I did. Okay. Then winner will be equal to player 1 1, and now we just have to do this a couple more times. So I'm gonna actually just copy all of this, paste it in, add an else if, change this to paper, paper, and paper. Then rock, paper, scissors, all fine. Then paper, rock, paper wins, so this means that player 1 wins. Okay, there was already an exclamation mark. Then there's paper and paper, which means it's a draw. Then paper, scissors, scissors wins, so player 2 1. Now we can copy it for the final time. Instead of paper, we'll have scissors, which I'm just gonna copy over to every single one of these. Then rock wins against paper, so it's gonna be player 1 1. Then this one, it's scissors, paper, scissors wins, so player 1 wins. You can write that down, and then it's a draw in this situation. Draw. So this should work because we declared everything we should have, I hope. And yep, we passed the test with the test button. Now we can click attempt, and it still failed some. It for some reason does not return the correct thing, but it did in the correct one. Oh, it didn't even do everything. Did I write something incorrectly? Let me just check. I'm gonna copy this down instead of any single one of these scissors. Yes, I did. I missed an S. And that should be good now. Once again, it passed this one, so we can click attempt. And now it passed everything, which means we can just submit our kata. Alright, so for the third and last kata for today, I will be doing also an 8 QIU, sum of positive, and let's go. So it gives us a vector called vec, and we're gonna have to sum all of the numbers that are positive inside of the vector. So I'm gonna once again do this into an answer, which means I have to declare it. Also, once again, using namespace standard to get rid of this. Now we can create an integer, since it gives us an integer vector, which will be answer. Now we need to create a for function, or a loop, not a function, which will sum every single positive number inside of the vector. So we'll make a new integer called I, which will be our index, which will keep doing until while it is less than the vector name dot size, and we'll just keep increasing it by 1. Now we're gonna have to check if the number is positive. So if vector I, which will start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, is more than 0, which will be a positive number, then we'll have answer plus equals vector of I. And I'm also gonna turn this into 0 to avoid any confusion. Now let's just check, because this could be it if I'm not missing anything. And it passed all of the tests, even the empty vector, because it just didn't have anything. It was already less than the vector size. So we can just click attempt. And we passed all 5 of the tests. Nice, we can submit that. And all 3 of today's katas are complete. So thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.